Hey you guys, what is up? It is AT4G here, and today I'm bringing you guys another episode of AT4G Tech Show. So let's get right. I'm going to be doing the tech show a little bit different from now on. It's going to be still talking about the same topics that I was talking about in the previous episodes of Tech Show, but they're going to be hour-long episodes sometimes without a camera, and we're going to be having. And hopefully we're going to be having more guests on this type because we don't have a camera, so we can just be online talking to each other. It'll make things much easier, and this will be the majority of the uploads on this channel now, so there will be content to watch from now on. It'll just be this, so without a camera, just audio, and then I'm going to have different GoPro footage put on top of this audio. So it's not just a black screen that you're staring at while I'm talking about tech news. It'll be something, whether it be one of me or Cody running, or me going out to take pictures, something like that. So it'll mostly be GoPro footage. Sometimes there'll be other stuff in here, but... So since the episodes are going to be a bit longer now, I have time to talk about, like, reviews on things. I can tell you guys what I think about some things, instead of just telling you guys the news and ending the episode like I was before. So in this episode we got the topics of me starting a sleeper computer, which, if you don't know, that's taking in a very old computer case and putting the inside of a computer from a gaming computer inside of that. We have all the new phones that came out: the Pixel 2, Pixel 2 XL, the V30, the V30 Plus, the iPhone 8, the iPhone X, the Xiaomi Mi Mix 2, and the Note 8. We have a short review of the X-Touch Mini MIDI board. So that's the thing that I've been using to edit my photos in Lightroom. That was also in one of the last videos I uploaded, the tech on camera accessories under 50, that's what it was. I have my short review of the Canon TI5, which was also a video that I came out with. I did an unboxing of it. At the very end of this episode, I want to talk about QMe. I'm not sponsored by them, I just want to give you guys a way to do something and get paid for it while you're not doing anything, because that's what I've been doing for the last few months. It's been pretty good. We have Intel changing the name of Pentium to Pentium Silver and Pentium Gold. We have Netflix raising their prices. We have the new iPhones with iOS 11 and 56 new emojis. I have a short review of the Apple AirPods while using Android. That's going to be a short review. With the Pixel 2 came out a USB-C headphone dongle and the Google Pixel Buds, which are pretty much just like the Apple AirPods, except for they have a cable that goes on your neck, and they are very large. And we have two new Google Homes that I'll talk about later. Okay, so I'll start off with the sleeper computer. The case that I have, and I'll put pictures up for some of the stuff on the screen while I'm showing you guys this footage, but the computer I have is the Dell Dimension L500R. Now, you may have seen this computer before, I don't know, but it is a tan case, so you can tell how old it is already just by that color of the case. But my problem that I'm going to have with it is the power supply goes right on top of the CPU fan, so I don't know, I'm gonna have to have a vent under my power supply so that I can push the air up into the power supply and out the back of it, but it shouldn't be too hard to do. It'll just be a way of finding one that has that, so yeah, because that is a really small case. It doesn't have room for a power supply anywhere in it. It goes on top of the motherboard, so yeah, but I'm gonna buy either an AMD or a older i5 to put in it. Because right now it's got, I think, a Pentium. Pretty sure. So, that should be fun, and I'll keep you guys updated on that whenever I do these podcast type things. I'll show you guys what I did to it. So the new phones that came out, the Pixel 2, I'll give you guys the specs on this. So the Pixel 2 got rid of the headphone jack. Can I open this link? There we go. It got rid of the headphone jack. It started selling a... Oh, what is this? Leaving Evernote. Yes, I know I'm leaving Evernote. Take me to the link. There we go. It got rid of the headphone jack, and it has a USB-C to headphone jack adapter that comes with the phone like Apple did, but if you lose that, it's $20 for a replacement. So there is the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL. The 2 has a 5-inch screen, the XL has a 6-inch screen with 4K, the other has 1080p. They both have a 12.2 megapixel front-facing camera, no, back-facing camera, and an 8 megapixel front-facing. They both have the Snapdragon 8... Could this ad be quiet? They both have the Snapdragon 835. They were released on October 4th, 2017. Nope, that's when they were announced. They were announced on October 4th, 2017, and released on the 17th of October. They're made of aluminum and glass accents. They both have a fingerprint reader. The Pixel 2 has an AMOLED display, and the XL has a POLED display. The 2 has a 27 milliamp hour battery, and the XL has a 3,528 milliamp hour battery. So the XL also has a bezel-less display. The Pixel 2 display looks exactly like the original Pixel. So they look much different. But they both come in a 128GB model. Now the V30, let me open up this. The V30 is also a bezel-less phone. It has a 6-inch 4K display, 16 megapixel back, and 5 megapixel front. It also has the Snapdragon 835. It has a 33 milliamp hour battery, and has a 64GB model of storage, and has 64GB of storage, but has a micro SD card slot that you can add to it. It was released on September 21st. It has a POLED display, just like the XL. But unlike the LG V20, this does not have a removable back. This does still have the dual cameras on the back, and maybe the front. I'm not sure about that. It does not seem to have it, but... Okay, I just checked. It does not have dual front-facing cameras. It does not have dual-facing front... What? It does not have dual front-facing cameras. But, unlike the LG V10 and V20, it does not have the second display because it is bezel-less. Now, I actually didn't know the difference until I started looking for this material for the video today. The LG V30 and the V30 Plus are different because the V30 has 64 gigabytes of storage, and the V30 Plus has 128 gigabytes of storage, and that's the difference between those two. So, I'm going to skip over the iPhones for now. I will come back to those. The Xiaomi Mi Mix 2, the first bezel-less phone that everybody loved, has a second version. So, this one has a 1080... So this one has a 1080 by 2160 pixel screen, which is 6 inches. It's got a 12 megapixel back camera, 5 megapixel front. Has the Snapdragon 835. Was released on October 10th. It has 256 gigabytes of storage and a 3,400 milliamp back fingerprint scanner. It is, again, a bezel-less phone because it is the second version of the Xiaomi Mi Mix original. This one has more bands, so it can be used better in the US now. This does have the bezel on the bottom with the camera again, but that bezel looks to be smaller than the original. So it does have the single camera on the back and the single camera on the front and the fingerprint scanner below the camera again on the back. And yeah, it's pretty much just like the original, except for, again, no headphone jack because people keep taking that away from us. Now the Samsung Note 8, after the Note 7 came out and was recalled shortly after, and the Note 8 comes out with the Infinity display. So, with a 6.3-inch display, this phone is 4K, got a 12 megapixel back and 8 megapixel front. It has also the Snapdragon 835, was released on September 15th. It has 64 gigabytes of storage, but also the micro SD card slot, a 3,300 milliamp hour battery, a Super AMOLED display, and has dual back-facing cameras and the fingerprint reader that is very hard to reach on the back. It is hard to reach because it is right near the cameras that are on the very top of the phone. So you have to shuffle your hand up the phone to get to the fingerprint reader. The iPhone 8. The iPhone 8 has a 4.7-inch display, smaller than all the rest of these newer phones, because it is not bezel-less. It is the only flagship phone that's not bezel-less that's come out yet. It is a 750 by 1334 pixel screen, a 12 megapixel back camera, 7 megapixel front. It has the Apple A11 Bionic chip. It's got a 256 gigabyte storage model. It has 1,821 It has a 1,821 milliamp hour battery. It was released September 12th. It does have the fingerprint reader on the home button again, and has an IPS LCD display. This phone will come in gold, gray, and silver. And again, does not have the headphone jack, or a removable back, or expandable storage. Because it's an iPhone. Now the iPhone X, a much better phone that has not actually come out yet, has a 5.8-inch display, has a 5.8-inch bezel-less display that is 1,125 by 2,000. It has 3 gigabytes of RAM instead of the iPhone 8, which has 2. It has, okay, move my tabs around. It has 256 gigabytes of storage, 2,716 milliamp hour battery. It was released November 3rd. It comes in gray and silver and has an OLED display. So this, as you can see, does not have a home button, but does have 2 cameras on the back like the iPhone 7 Plus. And, well, I guess the iPhone 8 Plus too. I didn't think about that. But the back is made of all glass. And the front does not have any bezels except for that little notch in the top that has your speaker, your camera, and your face detector for Face ID, which is pretty much Touch ID, but it doesn't use your finger, it uses your face. That's how I'm going to start explaining that to people. It does not have a home button, so you have to navigate the phone by swiping up from the bottom of the screen to go home. And to use Siri, you hold the power button and things like that to move around the phone. But this does not have USB-C for charging. They're still going with that lightning charging. But yeah, this one is made of glass and has stainless steel accents. And is IP67 waterproof. IP67 waterproof. So with the new iPhones came a new OS, which is iOS 11, and with that update came 56 new emojis. Now, I'm not going to read all these off, I'm just going to put them up on the screen. I'm going to scroll them through so you guys can see them all. But also with these new iPhones came wireless charging, which means wireless charging for all their devices, which means a new case with wireless charging for Apple AirPods. This has not come out yet, they just talked about it during the release of the new iPhone, but as I talked about in the beginning, I have some Apple AirPods, but I do not have an iPhone. I use them with my LG V20. So they work pretty good with an Android device. My only problem with them is they don't connect as fast as they would with an iPhone, but they work just the same, except for there's no Siri, obviously. So I use it with not an Apple Watch, but a Moto 360. So I still do have a way to skip my songs without taking my phone out of my pocket and all that, but they would work better with an iPhone. But I'm not saying that if you have an Android device and you want to use AirPods, that they're not good. I use them every day to listen to music. They are the best headphones that I've ever bought. So if you're looking to get them and you have an Android device, I would recommend them. So with the new Google Pixel 2 came the new USB headphone dongle, which is $20 for replacement, just like the Apple adapter, which I think is cheaper, but maybe I'm wrong on that. But this also came with Bluetooth headphones, because Bluetooth is apparently the way to go now. You know, the headphone jack is going away for everybody, so I guess Bluetooth headphones, you gotta invest in them now. So, the Google Pixel Buds. They are wireless headphones made by Google. The part of the headphone that goes in your ear looks just like an Apple EarPod. So, they should fit in your ear just like that. But they do have a braided cable that connects them together. So, they're not fully wireless. They do have one wire connecting the two. But they do have Google Assistant built in. So, this means that you can use Google Translate with them and listen to music. So they have a 5-hour battery lifetime from just one charge. And the charging case that comes with it, just like the Apple AirPods, can hold multiple charges. So you can get up to 24 hours of battery life when you carry them with the charging case. So the things that stick out of your ears that are about an inch, it looks like, you can tap on those and it will activate Google Assistant for you. So on your phone, it'll tell you the battery life of your Google Pixel Buds, and you can connect them whenever you want. So they come in black, white, and blue, or according to Google, just black, clearly white, and kinda blue. But these are not released yet. You have to go on the waiting list if you want to buy them. They are $160 and do not come with the Google Pixel. But with Google and the new Pixel and all this new Google stuff, what is my wire called? Oh. Okay. They came out with new Google Homes. We have the original Google Home, and now we have the Google Home Mini and the Google Home Max. Now, the original Google Home did not have a headphone jack. You could not plug it into a stereo, and neither does the Mini. But the Mini is much smaller. It is still made of that fabric material that the bottom of the Google Home original was, but the lights shine through that. It comes in gray, black, and red, and still does all of the Google Home smart home things that you wanted from the original. But if you buy a Pixel 2 from Google, you can get a Google Home Mini for free. Now, the Google Home Max is much bigger. It's got the transparent fabric from before. It has dual 4.5 and it has dual 4.5-inch subwoofers for deep bounce bass and custom tweeters for crystal clear highs. So you can play everything from your Google Music. No, you can play everything from your YouTube Music, Spotify, Pandora, and everything else you want to listen to. But with this, okay, that's actually very large. I did not know that. I just saw it on a table here. Wow. I'm going to save this image so I can put it in there. So when you buy a Google Home Max, you get 12 months of YouTube Music ad-free. So pretty much YouTube Red. But with this, you have an aux port. What does Wi-Fi mean? So you can stream music over Wi-Fi. This comes in two colors, white and black. And comes in at $399. The Mini was $50, and the original Google Home was $130, but is right now down to $110. So, away from all the phones that came out this month and all that, Intel has changed the name of their Pentium to two different categories: Pentium Silver and Pentium Gold. So, this is only for the Kaby Lake Pentiums, but the packaging for the Pentium used to say a desktop processor. It will now say Intel Pentium Gold desktop processor. So right now it is only Pentium Gold, but the Pentium N5000 Gemini Lake series chip could be the first Pentium server CPU to hit the market. So all Kaby Lake Pentiums are affected by the change, but no modifications have been made to the CPUs. It's only the branding of the Pentiums. I'm going like way too fast here. So, Netflix has changed their pricing again. This happened a couple years ago. Subscribers of the standard tier, prices are going up by $1, from $9.99 to $10.99. For customers of the premium tier, they'll see a slightly larger bump going from $11.99 to $13.99. Subscribers of the basic tier, $7.99, will not be changed at all. It'll stay at $7.99. So if you have the basic tier, you're fine. Your prices won't change. But standard and premium go up by $1 and $2. So this will start during the billing cycle of November. So for new users, this will start this week, I guess. This week or next week. But for existing members, this will start during November. Now the X-Touch Mini. I ordered this thing off of Amazon. I found out about MIDI to Lightroom, and then I started looking at all the stuff that comes with it. I started thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool, I should get one of those. So I finally spent the money, I got one, I started editing with it. It is so nice to have. It saves you from touching your keyboard at all. I can just put my keyboard away and use this thing and a mouse, and I'll be fine. It is amazing. I'll show you guys a picture of it. I labeled the whole thing. I had my exposure, my contrast, my tint, what's that called? My temperature, my tint, highlights, shadows, all that. I've got the next button, but this little dial on the side, I can't get it to zoom correctly. So if anyone knows how to make that zoom correctly, to where I just go up a little bit and it zooms a little bit, it doesn't zoom in all the way, and then I have to go to my second layer and zoom it out, I would love to know how to do that, because it is frustrating me. But yeah, this thing's awesome. So if you edit in Lightroom, and it's just taking you, like, forever to do, you should maybe look at one of these. Because you're just twisting dials and getting it to how you want it to look. It makes things so much faster than going up with a scroll or using your mouse and all that. But another new thing that I got before this was the Canon T5i. So, what I had before that was the Samsung NX3300. I'm so tired of saying that name. I've made so many videos about that camera. But I finally traded Cody for that camera. I traded that camera to Cody for the GoPro Session. So I own the GoPro Session now. It's not his anymore. He owns that Samsung NX3300. I gave him my second battery and all my Canon adapters, all that stuff, my lens hood. The lens hood that broke my original Samsung lens. I haven't told this story on a video, I don't think. No. I said it in one video, and it was the review of my Samsung. That's what it was. But I had a Neewer lens hood, 52mm Neewer lens hood. I put it on there, It's worked in the past, okay? It worked before this. This was right after this was a few days after I got home from my DC trip. It worked that entire trip. I got home, I took these 3 or 4, however many pictures on that day. I got some awesome pictures that day. I go to unscrew the lens hood, and the front of the lens pops off. It just pops right off. And, so I went to a camera repair store, seeing if they could repair it. No, it's Samsung. They're, what do you say? Their, parts are too hard to find. That's what he said. So, yeah, it was gonna cost more to repair the lens. The, like, $80 lens than to buy a new lens. So, it's sitting broken on my shelf over there. I never fixed it. I can't fix it. I mean, like, it's useless now. I might as well sell it on eBay. But I gave him everything that I owned for that camera to Cody when he bought it from me. Well, when he traded it to me. Except for that 20 to 50 kit lens, because that is broken. So he is ordering a new lens for it so he can actually use it. Which he still hasn't done. I gave it to him months ago. It has been at least a month and a half ago that I gave it to him. But he still doesn't have a lens for it. But the Canon Rebel T5i, this coming from the Samsung NX3300 is an amazing camera. So, if you're using Samsung cameras, switch now. They are terrible if you don't know that already. For a beginner camera, they're okay. They don't have the best quality, but it's something to start with. But for moving up, if you're already using Canon lenses, just switch already. It is so much nicer to just have a Canon camera that can autofocus and all that, without spending a fortune on adapters and all that. I spent $80 on an adapter just to change my aperture. That was it. That's all that adapter did. Nothing else. But yeah, this video that you're watching is one of the first shoots that I went on with this camera. I might be popping up a few pictures in and out where I think that the English. I might be popping in a few pictures in the shoot that I uploaded on Instagram. But, yeah, I won't be popping up all of them because there's, you know, hundreds. Because I take way too many pictures when I go out on shoots. You know, 800 pictures at a soccer game for some reason. I never edited all of those. I edited, like, maybe 100. Okay, I'm, like, getting near the end now. What can I talk about? Oh yeah, my pop socket. I got a new pop socket. I'll shout the guy out on Instagram. Okay, I'm gonna pop their Instagram name up on the screen right now. You guys need to go follow them if you're a fan of MGK. They make their own MGK merchandise and sell it. It is JTB19XX. I bought this black chrome XX pop socket. I'll pop up their Instagram video right now. And I have a chrome, regular chrome, decal. So that was $15, and that's it. That's cheap. Alright? So this thing is awesome. It looks great on my phone with my blue and black carbon fiber skin. So if you're looking for a new pop socket and you like that chrome, because that black chrome looks really good on this pop socket, I would go to them. Oh, I just remembered this. A disclaimer: if you were going to buy the old Canon 28-90 lens, I don't know the aperture on it, don't. It is not a good lens on a Canon camera. It'll give you error 01 every time you take a picture. Don't buy that lens. It's old. Canon can't replace it. They don't have the parts for it anymore. It'll just give you an error. If you're going to buy it from the Samsung NX3300 though, it is a great lens. I use that lens forever. But don't buy it for a Canon camera. It's not good. You can see me use it a few times in this shoot, and it just gives me the error, so I just gave up on it and started using my 18-55. But yeah, that's about it for this episode. So in the comments, tell me how you guys feel about these new phones not having headphone jacks. Do you guys want headphone jacks, or do you think Bluetooth is just the new thing to do now? Because I don't think Bluetooth is all we should be using yet. It's there, but it's not the best. The aux port has been made the best. Keep it until Bluetooth is the best. Once Bluetooth is the best, let's just use Bluetooth, but it's not yet, so that's my opinion on it. Tell me how you guys feel in the comments. I want to talk about QMe real quick. QMe is a site where you can go and take surveys and get paid for it. It will give you the time, the estimated time that it'll take you to take that survey, and it'll give you a price so you'll be paid for it. It's not in dollars or anything. I've made actual money from using this website. I've bought things from Amazon and all that from it. So if you guys are looking for some extra cash and you're bored, you need something to do online, go check out QME. That's QMEE. And yeah, take some surveys, get paid. I'll have a link for that in the description, because if you make a PayPal, because if you use my link, when you make a PayPal payout, you will get 50 cents, and I will get 50 cents. So, we both win in that situation. Use my link in the description, and you get 50 cents for taking your money and putting it in your PayPal. So, this episode was a little short. I'm gonna try and have people on this podcast. If you think you would be somebody good to come on this podcast, you would be in a Skype call for like an hour or two, message me on Instagram or leave a comment, something like that. And we should be, I'm gonna try and have Cody on the next podcast because he knows a lot about this stuff too. So, yeah, that'll just be a longer video because we could just have a conversation about it. But he was doing things this weekend, so I couldn't get him on the first episode. But these should be coming out either, these should be coming out either once a week, once every other week, something like that. So very often, because it is the only thing that I am liking to record at the moment. Because I haven't been uploading because nothing has interested me lately. There's no good games that I can record that I like. You guys are telling me to play GTA. Well, I play GTA in my free time. That's the game that I play when I don't have anything else to do. I don't want to make that a job. I don't want to play GTA because I need to play GTA. And then, you know, there was PUBG, but PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. But that game costed like a fortune, and I'm broke. I don't have money for all these phones or anything. That's why I don't have reviews on them. So, yeah, if there's a good game, I'll get it. But there hasn't been. When Last of Us 2 comes out, I might do a playthrough on that. if you guys want to see a playthrough of The Last of Us, tell me, because The Last of Us original was great, so Last of Us 2 should be really good. More. Okay, well, that is going to be it for today, you guys. So, if you liked this episode, remember to kick that like button, and I will see everybody in the next episode. I also don't know if I'm going to have, like, an outro on this or anything. It probably won't be anything video. I'll probably just put music over it. But that is going to be it for this episode, so I will see you guys later. Bye.